Hello and thanks for joining us. I am Obiora Ilo. Today in our program, we are featuring someone who is with you like all the time. He comes into your living room and most times you're excited about it. My pleasure to welcome one of Nigeria's film superstars, Emeka ENYIOCHA. Emeka, you're welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
We want to start the story where the whole story began. At what point in your life did this romance with the film industry, at what time did it start?
It's no holds barred, isn't it? It started out of frustration. Because when I was younger, I love television, people, because it's all about your intellectual ability. But when you're, unfortunately, thank God we have bypassed that now. God has actually lifted us out of that quagmire, out of that shackle. When you are from a poor home, a lot of things will actually come against you. It is only by the special grace of God that you will surmount them, which God has actually done. Because I used to tell people that as I live, God has done everything that He has to do for me. I'm just living by His grace every other day. Because where I'm coming from, you won't understand. It's like, people will say silver spoon and all that. This one, there was no spoon. It's funny now though, because we have actually overcome that. When you're drinking akamo, most people call it pap and ogi, they force it down your mouth. There was no spoon to, that's how I actually put it most times. So it happened, that it was only the industry that was the only thing that could actually put immediate cash in my pocket to do what I want to do. Well, my auntie tried, she's late now, God bless her soul. She tried, put me in good school, GTC Port Harcourt. From there, went to Bori. From there, came to Lagos. When I came to Lagos, wow, my coming to Lagos was to actually, sojourn, outside Nigeria. You know how it is now, looking for visa, doing that, doing this. At a point, I got fed up. I told myself, what is your problem? That was when the idea of movies came and model. I was modeling because then there wasn't anything I was doing then, I had, gotten my common entrance, my city and gates of London then, So went to school now, went for extramural lessons, got my GC and all that. Took exams into the university. I got like I got admission 3 times. I couldn't pay for it. You know how it is. So, oh God, it's funny now, but I told myself, these things that nature almost denied me, I will reverse it by the same nature, Then my uncles then wanted to, maybe they promised going abroad, this, that. All of a sudden I got tired. My friend, one of my cousins like that, an NTA introduced me to Mr. Tunji. I think Mr. Tunji, he was in NTA then. I've forgotten his my surname, Mr. Tunji. Then in a program called the Memorial Hospital, directed then by Mr. Last Iguafon. Then our payment was in check. If you don't have current account, you cannot. Not be when you get money, you go bank. You know, you must have current account. I could remember, I think I still have some of those checks that I could not withdraw. I think they give you that, I think they 25 naira, they give you bank draft.
Like artist fee.
You know, artist fee, 25 naira. I think the highest I got was it 30 naira or so, you know. And the problem now was the performance, the acting. Yes, I got the build, I got what it takes, the voice and all that, but now the ability to use it was a problem. I could remember those days, the first time we were two. I think one of us, you know, out of the frustration of the industry, deviated, and then he's a big boy now with so much money. But well, we thank God. So I entered set up Memorial Hospital. I was supposed to be the personal assistant to the director of the hospital. And in that hospital, you know what personal assistants, you know what they do. Mm-hmm. So there was a nurse that I was checking and all that, you know. So something happened. Okay, the stage was set. Action. If I remember my line, I will forget the act. If I remember the act, I forget my line. You know, everyone was so pissed. We took like 15 to 20 takes. You know, Mr. Last Iguabo just went. You know, you can't do this thing. Then Lancelot, Mr. Lancelot EMAKA, my good friend, was also part of the production assistants on that set. He now called me, and because the girl was fuming. What is this? You know, then
where did they bring him from?
I said, I think with Mr. Last, I can't remember if it was Lancelot alone or with Mr. Last. I said, the word that, you know, like made the magic was enjoy yourself. Just go there, enjoy yourself. Everybody was so shocked. Immediately I entered, I took the lines, did everything, the romance. Now you go no say romance. Yeah? Romance, no be smarting for you. You know, so that actually started it. You know, that started it. I continued going for auditions, you know, home video, doing one or two crowd scenes and all that. Well, the actual thing was then, you know, when they just pay you little money, you just save small, send some home, you know. That time, how much did they pay you? 5,000, 10,000, you know, when you do a good, I mean, you go and do rehearsals for like 2 weeks, you know. Most times when I started getting better, so they were using me now as a tool, you know, for rehearsing people. No, I'm not going to play that role, though. They just used me to stand by for the stars.
Okay.
That were not around then. Mm-hmm. So they didn't know they were training me.
So you were like a stand-in.
Yeah, yes. I read, audition. There you come, you read openly. It's not what obtains now. So, we started the sojourn and all that. Started like that till 2000 and is it 2002, 2003. I got the big hit. That was like 10 years after. As I was going there, I got admission to LASU. It was the same Nollywood that was able to. By then, I done the muscle. My feet don't they reach 50. Don't they reach, like that. As I say, smile why I be, and they save too. That was how I paid through school in LASU theater arts, because I just wanted to do something, because I love this business. I can't think it. I can do any other thing, but I can't die for the business, because the business actually gave me all the knowledge that I have today, what I have acquired, the stage that I have been, everywhere. So, with that annoyance of not getting visa, I told myself, the first visa I'm going to get, I will not use it. It was like, so, I think they were going for, is it Setengi in South Africa or so, one of the film festivals. We all submitted our passport. Look at me having a South African visa without going for an interview. I just told myself, I will not go. Everyone was saying, what are you paid for it? I said, I will not go. People don't know what I was like a rebel amongst myself. I was, So, what happened was that I didn't go for that trip. Now, the visa issue is cancelled now. That, when you are, you go, they give you a visa and you go where you want to go. But the thing is that when I got that role, it's called End of the River. That
was a film.
That was a film. That was after 10 years. I just told myself, if you cannot make anything out of this, then the industry is not for you. The movie was the EMAKA's film. I think I played alongside Julius Agu. That was when Julius's Okombo, his first musical hit came. So they now used the opportunity to. So we played that reason that I took my name off now, Ezebuna for one. I did the movie. Funny enough, on that set, we had recorded for 2 days or 3 days. I don't know, there was no picture or there was no audio. So we have been in camp. So they were now contemplating how they will come and break the news after shooting 2 days, 3 days. No. So I said, when they came, I said, well, what will we do now? Let us wait for his camera, because he had rented his camera out. So they were supposed to finish, the people were supposed to finish like 2-3 days time. I was like, let's wait, why not? That was how that movie came out, and the rest is history.
Okay, I want to take you back. You've talked about this humble beginning. You've talked about the sufferings you went through as a young man. Tell us about growing up. Where were you born? What was it like? Growing up under the wings of your parents. What were you looking forward to as a young person at that time?
Well, my growing up was modeled by my auntie, because she, God bless her soul, she was a lover of education because she didn't go. Unfortunately, she didn't have any issue. We were her children from my father's, she's my father's elder sister. So she now took us from my father as her children. You know, I knew her as mother until she died. She was there, took us to Port Harcourt because she got married in Port Harcourt, her husband died and all that, she couldn't have kids, and she decided not to remarry and face her family wahala, which the family was where the wahala that she had. So took us to Port Harcourt. She sells in her Agri Road market, fish and all that. We'll go hawk fish. She put me in one of the best schools, GTC Port Harcourt, Government Technical College Port Harcourt. You know, I was in boarding house, so that was where I learned everything. The holidays, I will come, do some sales, you know, and all that. It was. Then when I left Port Harcourt, my parents didn't have any choice there. I mean, when you know, he who pays the piper dictates the tune, you know. But I never forgot the fact that the values were there. My father, he's late now, his soul rest in perfect peace, he always told me that do not ever do anything that the police will come after you. Anything that you are doing, make sure that the police does not come after you. And that meant, it didn't mean anything then, but later on it meant a lot of sense to me. That's why people will only tell you, Emeka, I don't know what that guy, I don't know what is wrong with himself. He's always, but you cannot find anybody that will tell you that I defrauded him. It's not possible. I am sorry, my trumpet, I have to blow it. I am one of the positive Nigerians, and I believe in my Nigeria.
These were the values you took away as a little
boy, growing up. Mm-hmm. I had every opportunity of derailing, but I just told myself, no. Even one of my friends always say, Emeka, I knew you as a naive young man, because there are certain things I couldn't see myself doing. I can't.
So how did you resist peer pressure? Because at that point where you had all these frustrations, of course, your parents were not well to do, your auntie was taking care of you, you had this peer pressure of younger people like you doing things that were negative. How did you resist it under those very unfriendly circumstances?
You know, what my father told me was actually at the back of my mind. Because I know whatever I do that the police will come after me, nobody will come for me. Even if they come, there is no money to bail you. So I just told myself, man,
stay away from trouble.
Just stay away. The trouble you see, maybe young, normal mistakes and all that, you know. But the troubles that will land you into jail or behind bars, God forbid. I've not been behind bars all my life. I've not. You know, not that I am a saint, no. I have my shortcomings also, but there are something, my life is forgivable because I won't do anything that would make you cross it. It's not possible. I try as much as possible, even as an adult, even in the current situation in Nigeria, I try as much as possible. That thing still rings a bell. You will not believe it. My father, my mom never saw me with a girl until I got married. Who are you? Are you need fear? May they see you with woman. How they go to see? How you go to talk up?
So those, street values, are they paying off today?
Definitely, they are. But again, they are. You know, it's like hard work. when you work hard, it takes time for you to reap it. Now, I grew up to understand that it is not only hard work, you also work smart.
How do you mean?
Taking advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. Because most times we're busy laboring like a lion and eating like an ant. That is because we have not identified, or we refuse to be sensitive. Big men are looking for whom to trust in Nigeria. I'm telling you. And they will, big men, I mean, they will test you. Definitely. They'll test you with the money that they know that you need. And again, because it is not arrogant. It is because, like my job, I love my job. I can deliver anytime when it comes to entertainment. So I am very, very, at peace with myself. Most people mistake it to be arrogant. Yes, they are entitled to their opinion, but I know that I know my job. Call me anytime. I'll wake up and I'll deliver.
Okay, in telling your story, there was something that got me very interested. You started making money, your fees went up a little bit, but you still thought about going back to school. What was driving you? Why did you want to go to school? Why didn't you just want to spend your money, buy new cars, date the finest young women around? Why did you want to go to school? You were already acting. You were already being recognized. Why did you go to school?
Going to school again was one of the most difficult things that, I won't say difficult, most of the most difficult challenges that I have actually come across in my life. You can imagine then, yes, I could be recognized by people. Then I had one old rickety Peugeot, that I was driving to school and all that. You can imagine, in school, in class, lecturers will enter and begin to bombard Nollywood. And you can imagine how you will feel. Everyone will just be looking at you. Till even the students got tired. Any lecturer that comes in, Nollywood is this, Nollywood is that, Nollywood is this, Nollywood is that. Until one day, there was a convocation play. I was shooting one movie like that I had to do dreadlocks and all that. So I go, if I'm coming for the rehearsal, I pull it off and all that, go back. It was challenging that period. When I mounted the stage and performed.
At the convocation?
At the convocation, yes. It was in school. Now, I thought that would have also lowered, or, but, I mean, they were also trying to take some of them out from Nollywood. Maybe I belong there or I don't belong there, but it was doctored the way they were saying it. Until, sorry, Shola Foshudu was one of my lecturers. Then I had become a bit big in the industry then. There was a movie we were supposed to play together. And when they say, somebody here waiting for your hand. So we're now cast together. It was in Enugu, this same lovely Enugu. So he went, I was shooting in Lagos. I finished in Lagos. He was waiting for me on set. He was deliberate. He waited for like 2 days before I entered. I was playing his son, a very stubborn son and all that. So what I was interpreting in that movie was as a result of what I got from him in school. It got to say that there was this and I slapped him. I did very well.
In the
film.
In the film.
Yes. It was like a revenge. Oh. After that time, we now became colleagues. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was the anger. You can imagine. So going to school was not easy.
Did you at any time have some kind of inferiority complex?
I, even without education, I've never had. Without education. Even before I went to school, when I speak, you ask, where did you study? When I tell people I've not gone to school, they say, why are you lying? You know, DK Nwachukwu was my lecturer in school, and God bless us, the man is lovely. He encouraged me. He said, Emeka, don't worry. He was one of our lecturers in school then. You know. So it was challenging. You can imagine that. They will come, wash you, wash your industry in the same classroom with your mates looking at you. No.
And that was a theater arts
Yes,
class.
it was a theater arts class.
Yeah, of course. When Nollywood started, a lot of people had issues with Nollywood.
They still have issues. But they should come and change it. No way.
Okay, it's not like you hitting Hollywood from the outside. Come inside and change it.
A transformer must begin to transform within, not
from without. Okay, let me take you back. Your parents, not well-to-do, but they had strong values, like the advice your dad gave you: stay away from trouble, stay away from the police. And then this son of theirs goes into acting. Was it in conflict for them with what they had tried to make you imbibe as a young person?
They didn't have any. They don't have any reason to say no. If you say no, what is your alternative?
What was the alternative? I see.
What's your alternative? Do you understand what I'm saying?
So, but what was their reaction?
No, I mean, it should be, it's a thing of pride for them. You know, their son is seen on the television. A family that was supposed to be nothing is seen all over the world. Come on, I mean, and I am not misbehaving, because fame, fortune brings what? Insanity. There's this saying that you look for fame with everything you have, and when you have it, you cover it with your face cap and your sunshade. So, I had actually pinched myself. Boy, when you're going wrong, I try to. Most times I derailed and all that, but
something like a reality check.
Yeah, anywhere, if I'm indoors, I checkmate myself. I do things like someone is watching me, even when I'm alone. So that mentality, that thing actually, that mindset molded me to that level where, I don't know, it's hard.
So let's go back, to your acting after End of the River.
Yeah.
I mean, your face was recognizable everywhere.
Yeah. After End of the River, I did Peacemaker. I'll tell you a story of Peacemaker. What happened to me after Peacemaker? After the movie came out, it was a movie that I passed out. As in, if you watch the last scene where I was in the hospital, I slept off.
Acting the scene.
Yes, acting the scene. I slept off because it was energy sapping. It was one of my artistic fulfillment in interpretation. The interpretation, and then I was, with people that were, they were there in the industry. you know, and you that is coming up, because if that movie fails, they will change it that you don't have luck. So any script that I have, I will begin to pray. Then I had no knowledge of seed sowing and tithing and all that. Now I put everything into it. I mean, you know, God, please help me. I sow a seed on the script. I pay my tithe. God is awesome.
So after the Peacemaker,
After
what
the Peacemaker, I was driving. Then I was living with my cousins in Shomolu. I was coming to Sule. I passed Yaba. After the railway, my Peugeot, the tire got busted just after the railway. So I now came down, was trying to fix the tire. When I got up, the next thing I said, "Boy!" One old woman started hitting me. She was crying. She was, "God will punish you. This, that. It will not be well with you. This, that. You did this to your brother. You did this to that. And I knew it was because of the movie, because the movie just came out like a week.
She has
seen it, apparently. She was crying.
And attacking you.
She was attacking me. I couldn't do it. I started shedding tears. I said, "Mom, what are you saying that film?" Everybody started laughing. Mommy, Emeka did that. Oh God. Do my wedding. You know, Mommy, I feel. I was perplexed. You know, so that was, you know, what happened. That was in, you know, you can imagine Yaba.
Okay, so after that episode with the woman, at least you now knew that your face was recognizable.
Yeah.
Did that also now give you a new consciousness about, oh, from nobody I'm now a role model, people could recognize me? You know, because you said something about always reminding yourself, I have to do the right thing when anyone was watching me. But now that you knew that people were watching, young people were watching, did it make you conscious of the role you had to play in almost everything you were doing outside the set?
Well, definitely. You know, when you have a particular lifestyle,
you forgot your cap.
When you have a particular see your own too. When you have a particular lifestyle, and it has actually become part of you, everything good working with a sound mind. My being in the industry, I think it was just, you know, when God is actually trying to redirect you and all that, you will think that things are actually not working the way you want them to work. Definitely, with the success that came my way, I didn't have any choice than to actually continue in the manner that I have been living. The only thing was that I did not allow the public's expectation of me, how rich I would have been or I should be, affect me. For instance, if I'm walking my motorsports, there's nothing I come down, take Okada, move. I go to the market. I buy things. People in the market, they don't see me as star anymore. They see me as their customers. I am now their customer. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, one thing is having a mindset prepared. When you have a mindset, there will be a little of deviation from that your mindset. When you tell yourself, for instance, I cannot slap a woman. There's nothing on earth that will make me beat a woman. When you have that at the back of your mind, That does not mean you cannot do it, but because you have decided not to do it. So whatever, I don't know if you are making sense. Whatever that will provoke you into doing that, you had already discarded it before the person starts provoking you. So whatever that will make me not see myself as a role model, I had already taken it off before God gave me the leadership of being a role model. So I see myself as a moving example to our nation, our younger ones, and to everybody. I try as much as possible. Though most times, you cannot get it right, but life is all about changes, positive changes.
Okay, let's look at the challenges in your industry. Little boy getting into the industry, growing, now you've logged decades in the industry. What are the challenges of Nollywood? What are the challenges of acting?
Enormous. They are too big. It's like the problem of Nigeria. Okay. I've been away from mainstream acting for like 2-3 years. In other countries that have the entertainment industry, it adds value to you. But here, immediately you're out, you're forgotten.
Why is it so?
It's mentality. Everything in Nigeria is peculiar to its ways. If you bring Obama, come here, Obama will fail. You have to tackle Nigeria the way you feel Nigeria should be tackled positively. Because do you know why? We have more criminals than more just men. Criminals, I mean, you must not use a gun and all. We have plenty people that out of frustration, out of poverty, desperation will come in, and when you are spiritually poor, there is no amount of money that you have that will be enough for you. Most Nigerians that steal our money, that go to also embezzle more, they are spiritually poor. So how much can you eat before you die? Tell me. Calculate your living style. How much can you consume in a day? If you consume 10,000 naira in a day, you'll be like this. Averagely. The only thing, maybe build house. What is, but the spiritual poverty in us have made some of us cut our conscience, just flush it down the basement, so that they will not even think of, if God is talking to them within, it will not concern them.
Well, we've heard in Nollywood, of course, we've heard about funding inadequacy in Nollywood. We've heard about sexual harassment. We've heard about greed. We've heard about jealousy. And then we've heard about, forgive me, sex for roles and things like that. Okay. Were these things, some of the things you confronted, growing up in Nollywood, are they still happening today?
I will begin from the last. Sex for role. Sir, I don't think whoever that is claiming that he or she has been harassed sexually I don't think that they do not do whatever they did without their consent. Because if the way is being mismanaged, the way people have misinformed Nigerians about this sex for role in Nollywood, we would have had every week cases of rape. Sir, two consenting adults did something. Let's assume it happened. They did it willingly. Understand what I'm saying? I will not stand and watch anybody degrade my industry. I will not do that. I will not stand and watch that happen. It is, sir, it does not happen.
Are you saying that we didn't have cases of a lot of young people, especially women, being pressurized, as much as they're not raped, being pressurized to part with something to get a role?
Thank you. Pressurized. The economy is pressurizing Nigerians to be criminals. We are not all criminals.
So it happens, but it's not the norm.
For Christ's sake, even if I want a relationship without pressurizing, excuse me? My wife, before I married her, I pressurized her. I pressurized her. She agreed to marry me. It is not by force. Understand where I'm coming from?
So what you're saying is that, well, if a young lady is being pressurized, she also has a choice to resist it.
Sorry.
And maybe walk away.
Sorry. This is your script, sir. Thank you. God bless you. Sir, I tell you, the reverse is the case. The girls are the ones raping the producers. Most of yes, we have some stupid producers. I understand that. I cannot cancel it. But I tell you, this is my 20-something years in this industry, in this business. I tell you, sir, they give themselves. Maybe the roles that they are thinking they will get was not what that was offered to them.
So they start complaining. Okay, let's look at funding in Nollywood. The government at the point stepped in. I remember that certain banks at the time tried to work out some, understanding with Nollywood to fund, but we have not succeeded so much.
This is the most interesting and important question that you have asked that I am so passionate about. Nollywood started without a foundation. Nollywood got occupied by too many interests. Now, the industry is bigger than the players. We are now widely accepted. But we got it wrong from the startment of the business. Yes, because it was like, let me put food on my table and do this way. And we were not foresighted enough to see today, yesterday. And yet we are still blind to see tomorrow, today. We have not seen it. One, piracy, it's a problem. Piracy is not the major problem. The major problem is structure. Structure. No structure. Sir, we have only 4, 5, 10 cinema houses in Nigeria. Where can that go? Now that the government has realized that Nollywood is an export that they need, and I'm sure by other countries have made them realize that what they have is the biggest oil you can think of in the world. Now, I have always said, yes, Nollywood has, exposed Nigeria, but negatively. You ask me why. Why? Because as a filmmaker, I go to my village, borrow money to shoot a film. And as a Nigerian that is suffering in Nigeria, whatever I am going to put, whatever script I'm going to write, with the anger, with the frustration, is what I am selling to the world. Negativity. Those days when we were not able to travel abroad, we thought the street of America was built with gold until we started traveling. Hello. They are not better. But what we exported was what people are using in judging us. 419, voodoo, prostitution. Now, there is still time, there is still the avenue to correct all this.
How can we do that?
Beautiful. The government set up a committee. This 3 billion, we don't need it in cash at all. Go to every state capital, put one cinema house, a complex, make it small of 200 seaters or even 500 in all the 36. So that means we have what? 36 cinema houses.
Would they be privately run, or would it end up the same way government things end?
Build it, give it to a private firm to manage.
Okay.
Now, as a filmmaker, I can go to anywhere and collect money and do a good film. I come, if it's 50-50, if the government takes 30 or they take 40, I take 60. Sir, by the time I finish showing, now it will correct. Now, government will be involved in the kind of stories that you do. Even before your film will be shown in that cinema. I'm not talking about them giving us money now.
Creating the environment.
Creating the environment. You will see things will normalize. We'll begin to export Nigeria in a positive manner, that before you see a film star in Nigeria, you do like this. No, but this is our way everybody use us the play. Because we have left what brought fame and little fortune to us to face other things. That's why you see no content.
Okay, you moved on in the last 3 years doing other things.
Yeah.
You went into productions. What informed that leap? What informed that, don't call it digression or diversion? Or
No, it wasn't. It was as a result of this same anger. I was tired of the peanuts are being paid, yet I'm not treated nicely. Everybody wants you to lick their boots as producers, as executive producers. I was tired. So a friend of mine said, "Boy, I have this idea. Let's see if we can run with it." We started. It wasn't easy.
What was the idea?
He had the idea of the Patriot doing a story on what NAFDAC is doing and trying to also sensitize Nigerians on this negative effect of fake and adulterated drugs and food products, because people were dying. And then there's an agency that was trying to sanitize that. He brought us up. That's a good idea. That was how we started. We did, that came out as Patriot. He won so many awards. We opened business together, started producing films.
A colleague of yours in the industry?
Yes, a friend of mine.
In the industry?
In the industry too.
You don't want to talk about him?
No, Chidi Wokabia. No, he was into private business. Then he now also shifted into, because he's a beautiful writer.
Okay.
So from there, he was, getting sponsors for that. We went to close to 120 companies, only 2 or 3. Viju Milk, Fixin, which other company again that, give us the seed money that we started with.
When you do things like this, and you look back where you started and where you are today, do you feel fulfilled in any way?
I'm not fulfilled yet. Because what I would have done better with money, I tried without money. Now that some comfort, some little convenience as per finances are coming, I wish I could do them better. Because that's na akpa ego nesi nwoke bi ike.
What does that mean?
Ako is money, gives a man confidence. Ego nesi nwoke bi ike. When you have money, you have confidence to do anything. So now that is coming, I wish to do those things that I did then, do them better. But thank God, there is still hope. I'm not satisfied. I am the best critic of myself. I don't get satisfied with what I do.
So the future is actually going to be better.
Definitely, the future is better. And right now too, I am a hotelier. I'm a barman. I serve beer to people. I serve drinks to people. If you come, I'll serve you. It's part of it.
Yeah.
It's part of giving back to the society.
Okay. You talked about your wife. How did it happen? I mean, you were in the movie industry. We hear the women run after you. You're like at that time you were hot, one of the hottest bachelors in town. How did you zero in on this lady? What was so different about her?
Well, my wife is an iconic figure. She's a heroine. She's angelic. She's my best partner. When you see us talk, you don't know that we are husband and wife. If we're in a meeting, they will deliberate that you won't know that we're husband and wife, we didn't tell you. So we have developed that synergy.
Let's end our conversation by asking you what your advice will be to a little boy that is as frustrated as you were many years ago and wants to come to Nollywood with his dream. What will be your advice?
It's tough. it will continue to be tough. Because if it's not tough, you can't. You can't win. Because success lies in difficulties. If you don't have a difficult situation, you cannot succeed. Every problem has a solution from that problem. And I'll end it with, don't also do what after doing the place will come after you. I am giving them what my father told me.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, sir.
You've been watching our conversation with Emeka ENYIOCHA, one of Nigeria's super names in Nollywood. We've been talking about his life, his career, and the wonderful things he has done in Nollywood. I am Obiora Ilo from Abuja, Nigeria. Thanks for watching.